Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing.
Hi, I'm Erin.
And I'm Tammy.
And this is
Bite-Sized and Bossy.
That's the best time we've ever done it. That was amazing.
Well, in all candor, we are missing a third party today. So we only had to coordinate two of us saying it at the same time. Not that it's Chrissy's fault by any means, but
little easier. We are excited for our guest today. We are very, very excited about Chrissy McKinney. She is amazing. I'm super excited. And do you know this is her first podcast she's ever done? She's first podcast.
Virgin. Woo, woo, woo.
We're so excited to have you. We're popping the podcast cherry for you. That's what we're here to do.
Well, it's also really funny that we have a Chrissy replacement for Chrissy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when one Chrissy can't make it, we have to bring another.
Right.
It'll be the backup, Chrissy.
If it happens again, we will just take a freeze frame of Suzanne Summers from Three's Company.
Oh my God. Now all I can think of about her Thigh Master. That's her Thigh Master. Like there was so much work involved in the Thigh Master. And I don't know if it
did you ever have one?
No, maybe.
I had one. Chrissy, did you have one?
I did not have one. I've had lots of other different equipment, but never the Thigh Master.
I have slid, I have slipped, I have pushed, I have pulled. Nothing worked. Well, Chrissy, we're excited to have you. So for the folks listening, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so my name is Chrissy McKinney, and I'm so excited. This is my first podcast with some amazing, strong women, and what a better podcast topic to be part of. So I am Vice President of Marketing Communications at Eggs Up Grill, and I always joke with everybody that I have ketchup in my veins, meaning that I have been in the restaurant industry since I was 16 years old. Ironically, I've never actually worked in a restaurant as a paid job, but I've worked for the headquarters for Pizza Bell, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell back when I was an intern in my senior year of high school, and then Metro Media Restaurant Group, which was Bennigan's and Steak and Ale, now out of business. And then after college, I really wanted to get into advertising and took an opportunity with a local agency working on the McDonald's account. From there, I went to Denny's for about 11 years, and then I've been most recently at Eggs Up Grill for, I think I joked, 15 months earlier today.
Well, you have some long tenure at the places you've been at. That's incredible in itself. So how do you manage to stay, and jobs so long and be in marketing?
You know, I think the reason that I call it brand loyalty is because I had opportunities to grow. Right. So when I started at my first career outside of college at Maroc, I started very entry level, and I had the opportunity to move into account service. Also moved from Dallas to Virginia. I had never been out of the state before, so that was exciting. So joined that team, and then again, just had opportunities to keep growing and taking on more responsibility. So I think the only reason I left the first was that I was just ready for a new challenge, ready to learn new things. When you're in the same type of industry for so long, I feel like you can only get so far with what you're doing. And I had no desire to move back to Dallas. So Denny's came along, and same with them. I started off kind of an entry level and learned different areas of marketing along the way. So just lots of opportunities for growth within these companies. Also very large companies, so it was probably easier. But where I'm at now, much smaller, but still lots of opportunity to keep growing.
Oh,
but let's be honest, you kept your job. Most heads of marketing, people who are growing in their ranks, 18 months. That's what we get. Because marketing, it's hard. And people go, oh, we need a new marketer. We need new things. We need fresh things. You've been in these positions, like Tammy said, for a long time. So that must mean you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think let's talk a little bit about what you're doing over there at Eggs Up Grill, because for those who don't know what Eggs Up Grill is, I first encountered them when I was at Wisely, and have since gotten to know some of the team over there, and always see your CEO doing different briefs, and I think you do some work with some vendors that we are fans of. But you guys are growing insanely. So what's that all about?
Yeah, it's so fun to be part of a growing brand. And honestly, that was the biggest reason that I joined the brand. So coming from bigger organizations and getting able to use all the kind of different pieces of marketing, right? From digital to merchandising to menu innovation, and kind of put it all together in one to help this brand that when I joined, I think there were 65 restaurants 15 months ago. We're already at almost 90. Opening another 25 this year. So I kind of joke that we're in our tween age, right? It's kind of that awkward growth. So, but it's so fun being part of something that's growing because it's transitioning and changing every day. Now that does still have challenges, but I like to call those opportunities.
How do you engage people? Like at Eggs Up Grill, like what is your thing that you're doing that like gets people to want to come into that restaurant?
The brand hook.
The brand hook. Well, we have a really strong brand, what we call our brand DNA. We have little brand DNA cards we hand out to everybody. And we have a tagline. When you walk in, we have a counter, kind of like a typical dine. We have above there, let me make you smile. So to me, that's really what is in the core of our DNA is how can I make you smile? What can I do for you?
I want someone to make me smile.
I know, right? I know.
I like, that sounds so beautiful.
So do you
like,
hand out like cocktails and Cheetos?
I want to smile.
Yeah. So, but it truly is embraced by your people. And I don't think if your people don't embrace it, then it's hard for your guests to feel that way.
That's awesome. So a lot of frontline training, a lot of cultural training is what you're telling us, right?
Yes, and we are also 100% a franchise system. So, each franchise partner kind of has their own way of approaching things, but they all really embrace the brand DNA. So that's been really refreshing to see because most of our franchise partners, just everyday people that wanted to own their own business.
Yeah.
So it's been really rewarding watching them kind of carry out their dreams.
Well, so let's talk about that. What was your dream when you were young? Like, I know I wanted to be Madonna. So that job's been.
You still can. She's old, but she's doing it.
Never too late to fulfill your dream.
Yeah, you should do it. Vogue.
Yeah. So I would say growing up, I know I was thinking in Vogue, right? I always wanted to be a weather girl.
What? That's awesome.
I know, right? I have like a secret infatuation with always looking at the weather.
Why?
And,
Tell us why. Like, that's important.
I think it was growing up in Dallas and just with the weather coming in, the storms coming in, it just always intrigued me. And, tornado warning, take cover, those kind of things. Or, we had an ice storm, so it's always such a phenomenon. So, but that was, so I was always, my parents like, oh, Chrissy, what's the weather today? And so it was like a joke. And, I know.
Have you seen Mean Girls when she's like, there's 100% chance it's raining right now? Like that's all I think about right now.
The mom. Yes. That is funny.
Okay. So you wanted to be a weather girl, but didn't go obviously to school for that.
Nobody goes to school for that. It's all made up.
I think
weather is made up.
I think
it's not made up.
We may or may not get a storm. It may or may not snow. We have no idea.
50-50 all the time, right?
Well, hold on. In Dallas and in like Florida, places like that, you've got that tropical weather that comes in from the Gulf.
Yeah.
So it is unpredictable and unstable. But here in California, it is like today it's going to be 70 and sunny, and tomorrow it's going to be 70 and sunny, and yesterday it was 70 and sunny.
70 and sunny. Yeah. I don't know what that feels like, but wish my weatherman would tell me.
Weather woman.
Yep.
All right. So you didn't become a weather woman.
I did not.
But you did go to school. Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at the University of North Texas, which is probably about an hour north of Dallas. So I wanted to stay close to home. And I knew I wanted to go at that point business. I didn't know what I wanted to do and started taking some marketing classes. And I cringe when I say this, and this is going to totally age me, but my senior year of college, Gap had just come online. Like Gap, you could go look. I don't even know if you could shop online, but they had just come online. So, we were learning a lot about the evolving internet and how that worked for marketers and stuff too. So it was just really fascinating to me. So I leaned into that and had some, like I said, some jobs that really focused on advertising, and I found a passion for it.
So the first job then was at that agency as working with McDonald's. That's pretty incredible. How did you get that job?
Yeah, so I graduated, this is really going to date me, but I graduated right after 9/11, and it was really challenging then to, find a job. And I think I was always taught throughout my college days that, when you graduate, you're going to have this great life, this great career, and all this hard work. And I realized quickly that's not always the case, depending on who you know, what internships you had and stuff like that. So I went through quite a few interviews. It took me, I think, 8 months. And then I finally was like, you know what? I just got to get my foot in the door somewhere. So I took opportunity, again, more kind of broadcast traffic coordinator, but it really opened the door to so many bigger opportunities. When I look back and see that, I was like, that was the right decision.
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing is you mentioned like sort of being presented with those opportunities and feeling like they've come from working at these bigger companies.
Mm-hmm.
But getting those jobs in the big companies can be really challenging for a younger person. So if you were looking back, or let's say you've got kids, so your kids are graduating high school, going into college, coming home for that first summer and need an internship.
And you have three, you have multiple kids.
I do. I have, it's like 6 sometimes, but yes, I have, and they're all ranges. I have a 18-year-old daughter who's graduating this year. And then I have a 14-year-old son and a 10-year-old son. And so what I would tell them, and I had these conversations with my daughter all the time, is get involved as much as possible and look at internship opportunities, even if they're not paid, to get your foot in the door, because that's so important. It really kind of spurs the who do you know conversation that really can help you open those doors.
So talk to me a little bit about your teenagers. So teenagers, I mean, I love them. They suck. There's a lot of ups and downs in that relationship. But how do they treat you as a mom? Because you're a high level executive, and I can't imagine your 14-year-old understands that.
I would say my 14-year-old is probably understanding it more and more each day. But I think my daughter definitely, she sees me, and I think, I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think she sees me as a little bit of a role model. But it's a love-hate relationship, right? And she wants to go into marketing too. So that makes it a little bit easier to have those conversations with her. But, looking at colleges and all of that, and, she sees the importance of things like that to help her kind of stepping stone her career and follow whatever dream she has.
Well, so if she wants to go into marketing, would you be helpful, or should we do a call out for people to get her an internship?
Are you asking her? You're like, don't do that. Do something.
No,
else.
Absolutely. I always, I see a lot of me in her, like the drive she has to be successful, which I didn't have at her age, but I see it in her age already, so young. So I like to feel like I do rub off on her a little bit in that way. Mm-hmm. But absolutely, she's a very trustworthy, loyal, driven person. So I would give her an internship. I don't think my boss would like that, but we actually have an intern for us that I found from an old coworker at Denny's. It was a daughter, and I knew that she'd need to get her foot in the door somewhere doing some graphic design, and the opportunity to give her that opportunity to work on a brand and start her career was so exciting. And so yeah, she still works with us.
That's
your
awesome.
Vivacity, your energy is so charismatic, right? It just builds for yourself, and you have this beautiful energy that just exudes from you. And I assume you pass that down to your children as well. But is there something in you that you feel resonates, that when you talk to other women, when you talk to other people, because just talking to us, I feel your energy and it's so positive. What is that about you that you feel drives you forward?
I think it's probably that I'm relatable. So when talking to other women, there's a lot of commonalities, and I think it's just that we can relate and we have shared experiences and things like that. And I like to look at things positively. We always have our moments, right? But just having that positive energy. And it's funny you said the word energy, because that's something that I always joke when I'm looking for new employees. That's the number one thing I look at is what is their energy? Can their energy match my energy? Can it match the team's energy? Because to me, we can teach a lot, but those soft skills, I mean, those are the most critical things I feel when looking at new talent.
What are some of those soft skills? Because we really hope that people that are watching this podcast are looking to us to, elevate themselves to the next level or to understand what it's going to take to get somewhere. So what would be some of the qualities besides just energy, or can we define that a little bit more for some of the young folks that might be listening?
Yeah, I think for me, it's curiosity, asking the questions that to me shows that interest and that enthusiasm. Like I said, it's more about how you approach things, not necessarily what you know. And so it's looking at how someone sees something through their lens. But it's just, I know I say energy, like it's like an all-encompassing word, but it really is. How do I have these conversations with you? Are we going back and forth? Do I feel like we've been best friends for years? And I find when you can have those conversations with somebody, they're a good fit.
Well, and when you build trust, right? When you build trust with someone who you might not see eye to eye with, but we have trust, so we can share. And that's really important, I think, in a work life atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Well, I'd love some advice from you guys on a topic. I had a dinner this week with a young woman that I'm mentoring, and about mid-30s, does not have her education, is currently leading marketing at a smaller company in the industry. And she told me she wants to be a CMO. And I said, well, that's awesome. Let's start, planning out the path for you to get there.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I said, did you go to school? And she said, no, school wasn't her thing. And I said, oh, I don't know. You might need that to get to be a CMO. So I'm going to pose that question to both of you and tell me what your thoughts are, because I think there's probably
Chrissy, you go first. I'm sure I will have some polarizing opinion.
No. There's no wrong answer. I just thought my opinion
I have the wrong answer.
My opinion was that in this space, to be a CMO, the competition would be so stiff that I really felt that she could gain a lot by going to school.
What puts her ahead, right?
Yeah. How do you set yourself apart? Is it just that degree, or is it that? So yes, I definitely have opinions on this because I have these conversations with people all the time. I feel like there are some areas that you can go into that don't necessarily need a formal education. So I'll look at myself, for example, my gap just coming on the internet when I was graduating. There's a world of things that I didn't learn in school that I've had to find and teach myself, like whether it's listening to podcasts, whether it's taking online classes. I think there's a lot of ways to get education in different areas that you need a little bit more opportunity in. But I think if somebody, so mid-30s, already at that level, I mean, I think she definitely knows what she's doing because she has the career she does right now, is going back to school going to get her that next level? I don't know if I think that's necessarily required.
Yeah, well, listen, that's why I want to ask the question. I don't think everybody has to agree with me by any means. Erin, what are your thoughts?
I mean, she's not wrong. Like, I don't think going back to school, my degree's in acting, super useful. I was going to be super famous, guys. I failed.
Never too late.
But I did get like a certificate and a master's certificate and things like that, because there's still allowances put on that. People still look at that. Now, it really becomes down to, can you do the job? What does the job look like? And will I fulfill the job? And I think strong women, and again, I'm speaking to women because I've mentored a lot of them, they can step up and say, here's what the job entails, here's what I can do, and here's how I'm going to achieve it. And when you can do that, you win. You win. Yeah. Now, the only time you don't win is if someone goes, no, you need schooling, right? Because it's a little bit more old school. But I do think you can get around that I think schooling allows you the opportunity to kind of negotiate yourself around it, right? So school's telling you something. School's telling you you have to do this, you have to do this, and you're having to go, okay, I can give a little. I can give a little. And I think it actually teaches you a negotiation tactic that people don't realize. My daughter came home from finals today and she's like, it was horrible. I'm never going to use science. I was like, tell me more about that. And she explained it. And I said, you will use science. I said, what you will use is the ability to negotiate what you will use and what you won't use. That's a big deal. And I think that's what schooling actually teaches you. Because to be fair, I don't know if she ever needs to know where the vertebrae in a crawfish is. I don't know if that's a thing. But what she does need to know is what she can do, how she can do it, and what will help her push forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think really the conversation really boiled down to within the organization that she's at, which is again a smaller company.
Yeah.
So she's grown within that organization. It's been her only real corporate job, and so if she stays at that organization, she'll likely get the CMO title, but she's not going to get the money or the clout that's going to come.
That's a different point, Tammy. Though,
right?
A different point of. When you stay within, like there was a rule at MGM long time ago at MGM Resorts, you could only get 10% at any time.
That's the thing I told her. I said, no company is going to give you a 50% raise in 1 year and your job hasn't fundamentally changed. Like nothing you're doing is different when you change the title. You're still in the same place. So if you want to go somewhere else, at some point, you're going to need the degree. I got my education. I didn't finish it till I was 30. I was making great money.
But you're only 30 now. So congratulations.
Yeah.
30 for so 23 great. Years.
Yeah.
28 years. I can't add.
You look great.
Yeah. Chrissy, I think I got a few years on you. So don't you worry about it.
My kids tell me I'm 29 every birthday.
You've come up the ranks. You've come up the ranks in Denny's and then here. And now you have these kids and you have a lot of, how do you manage all of it? How do you manage all of this?
Well, I have two answers. I'll start with the first one. A lot of support. I have family in town. My parents live nearby. I have an amazing partner. So, I have a lot of help doing that and a lot of red wine.
It was like wine better be one of her answers.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It takes a village.
I think you're like Superwoman. You're Superwoman over there.
Yeah.
My daughter is demanding some attention right now. Just please.
I
have no idea where mine is.
I know.
She is super cute.
Yeah. Well, she is demanding attention right now.
All right, let's do some food for thought questions, Tammy.
Oh, food for thought. What's your favorite food?
Yes.
These are supposed to be rapid fire questions, and we never actually rapid fire them.
We need the food for thought because
Erin, tell me your worst moment ever in your life, and I'm like, "What's your favorite food?"
Oh, that's easy for me. Ben & Jerry's fish food ice cream.
Fish food.
Ben & Jerry's what?
Fish food.
I've never had it.
It's amazing.
Like the band.
Yeah, it is spelled like the band. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite restaurant?
Oh gosh, can I say Eggs Up Grill?
Well, no. Try again. You work there, Chrissy.
Of course, yeah. There is a local place near my house that is my favorite go-to at night to have a glass of wine, get a great Greek salad. So it's a local place, not a chain. It's called Acropolis. Yeah.
What is it?
Acropolis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds Greek.
It is very Greek.
Sounds Greek. Yep. See, where's Chrissy? We need Chrissy for the rapid fire questions.
She's the slowest person of all of us in the rapid fire questions, but yet there's something just enjoyable about how slow she asks the questions.
Very Southern.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I know.
What's your number one experience you've had as a female leader in our space?
Wait, say that again.
Number one experience as a female leader in our space that you look back on and you think that was wonderful.
For personally for me, like I think the one time where I felt, wow, like this feels amazing. Honestly, it was last week. I know that sounds crazy and like plugged in, but we had our annual, our owners conference, which is kind of our yearly meeting with all the franchise partners, sharing the plans, and I got the opportunity to get up there and share, and just the amount of franchise partners that came up to me afterwards, and I could tell they were just genuinely appreciative of everything we're doing. It just felt so good. But what felt better was that they were talking about my team, because I always tell people you can't make it to the top until you bring people with you.
Yeah. They say you have to send the elevator back down.
Oh, I love that.
You have to send the elevator back down. And I'm a big believer, so is Tammy, in like, let's lift other women up. And that's why we do this, not because we like to hear our own voices, because Lord knows I don't listen to this podcast because my voice is gross. But I want to send the elevator back down. I want to give other women voices.
Okay. Favorite place to go on vacation?
Oh, Dominican Republic.
Ooh, Punta Cana.
Punta Cana.
I
That's
like it
exactly
too.
where.
What's that drink called? The drink that they do in the Dominican that's like herbs and red
Oh,
wine.
Mama
Juana. Mama Juana.
Yeah. Mama Juana? Is that right? Maybe.
It's called Mama Juana. Yeah. Because Mama wanna drink.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, Chrissy, we love this and we love having you on here. You are a breath of fresh air. And you look amazing. And again, we can't be more happy that we are doing your first podcast you've ever done. So if you could give advice to your younger self, what would that look like?
Ooh, my younger self.
Well, think about it. You're like your daughter.
Yeah.
Two things. I think the first one is this isn't really, you got to learn this and grow into this, but having the confidence. I think a lot of women are stifled down because they have lack of confidence that they can do the things that men do, or that, you know, they're meant to stay at home and have kids. I think that, you know, breaking those societal norms. So I think that, and then asking questions. It's kind of a joke around here that I always tell people, ask the question. It's that curiosity, because if you don't ask, you can't learn, you can't grow. So I feel a lot of people when they're younger, they're scared to ask the question, like, what if this sounds bad or whatnot? And I've learned you got to speak up, you got to ask those questions. And chances are, if you're asking, someone else wants to know too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say the same thing. In fact, I have a young woman who just started working for me, and I told her, I said, you know, my philosophy on questions, I said, if you're not asking enough questions, it tells me that either you're perfect and know how to do everything, or you are making assumptions. And both of those are the wrong approach. So
I mean, I'm perfect, so I'm sorry that you guys need to know that.
Erin, I'm sorry to out you on air like this. It was Erin. She's working for me.
I'm super perfect.
You know, all I could picture when you said that was Wicked and Glinda. I'm perfect.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Oh, yes. We've been singing that in our house for like 6 months now. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Can we get a Wicked graphic on the
Oh my
screen
God.
in this airs?
He sings it all the time, and I'm like, sure, I'd love to sing Loathing again. All right. So if you could nominate someone to be on this podcast, someone you'd want to listen to, who is that? And it can be more than one person, but like, who's another strong female in our space? And I know there's, unfortunately, we're cultivating more and more of them to bring their voices to the table. But who is that for you?
Yeah, so you're right. There are quite a few women in this industry that I've looked up to. I would say Lori Curtis.
I know Lori.
I love Lori.
Okay, yeah, everyone loves Lori. So I worked underneath her when I was at Denny's, and I really attribute a lot of my growth and success to her. I jokingly tell her she threw me in the fire, but that's how I learned and grew and got my confidence. So she has an interesting background with international marketing and things like that. So it's just very refreshing to see a female at such a high level.
And she's also authentically herself.
Absolutely.
Which is nice.
Yes.
What does
And
that
I
mean?
love seeing
What is
women
that?
who can
What is
be
that?
themselves.
What does authentically herself mean?
Like, she is just who she is. And that's how I feel like I am. And you are, Tammy. Like, you just,
I'm
this is who I
authentically
am.
myself.
Yes, you are authentically yourself. Like, you are who you are, and you show up at the table and you go, here's who I'm going to be.
You don't pretend.
I think that's rare.
Okay. I actually can't pretend. I tried acting. I'm terrible. The only thing I'm good at is being me.
Erin can
You
give
are
you some
very
advice
good at
if she
being
wanted to be an actress.
I can pretend, but like, meh,
I'm not a good
don't like to.
pretender.
Anyone else?
There's another woman I used to work with. She works for an agency called C3. Her name was Jennifer Loper, and worked with restaurant industries with kids and families. And she was just delightful and always had such great insights. And she hires a lot of females. And so hanging out with them and seeing how they encourage and nurture each other. I think we had a Galentine's Day together one year when we were traveling at the same place. So just, it was really refreshing seeing just how she approached different things, like with her team, especially.
I big fan of Jennifer Loper as well at C3. Great women that you're nominating.
See,
That's
there's
wonderful.
no shortage of ladies that want to do this. And I think, Erin, we should share some exciting things that we've had happen in the last week or so.
Oh, God.
We've had companies reach out to us and ask us if they can put people on the podcast, which is awesome. And we've had a company reach out and ask if they could sponsor and help us.
Unbelievable.
So we're pretty excited about all of you that are listening to this. So thank you. Our goal is not to really like to be rich or to make money, but we would like to get our producer paid because he gives up his time.
Tammy, I want to be rich. I want to be rich.
Okay, Erin wants to be rich, and as Fred LaFranc will tell you, I give everything away for free. So I apparently don't want to be rich.
No, we have been incredibly blessed. We saw a need for this. We followed the need, Tammy, Chrissy, and myself, and it has already in weeks has paid tenfold, and we are very, very excited about the future of it. I think for me and for Tammy and for Chrissy, it's putting women first right now and lifting their voices is the ultimate importance.
Yep.
So, and Chrissy McKinney, thank you. Thank you for being on this podcast. Thank you for wanting to do it. Thank you for allowing it to be your first, because I know it can be somewhat scary. Anyone's first time can be scary.
Well, and Chrissy, we will call you after the first time.
Oh,
Yeah. We will. There's still a relationship that will happen.
yeah.
But
Well, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun, and congratulations to all the exciting news over the past week.
thank you. Thank you so much. We're excited. Everyone that's listening, like, subscribe, all of the things that come with any
YouTube. What else are we supposed to? YouTube. It's on Apple
Spotify,
Podcasts,
all the
Spotify.
places. You can find us everywhere.
Yeah. And it's bite-sized with a BY and
Yes.
bossy. That's Erin. I lied. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye, Chrissy. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Bite-sized and bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going.